Yeah, and snoring was screwing up my audio, so I had to record on a separate occasion where there is none of. So don't be surprised if you see me in this outfit, and the one that I had prior. So just FYI. Shalom, everyone. Yahweh Shmaldan, Yahbashim, Yahweh. Thank you again for tuning into another iArt Jazzy video. That's 2 S's, not 2 Z's. I am an Israelite artist and I specialize in Israelite art. Today I will be showing you how to create a quick paint. Well, at least how I created quick paint. Keyword I, okay? Because I know people are going to be,
oh no, that's not how I do it. That's not how I would do it.
yes, baby, you do what you want to do. But when it comes to my quick paint, this is how I do it. Every artist is different. And you know something? That's okay. Now we're going to go ahead and get along with the video. Today I'm going to be showing you how I do my wash day 2. I do have a wash day 1. It is a woman who is of my skin complexion, and she has cool tones featured all throughout. And then with wash day 2 is a woman with gingerbread almondy type skin tone, and she is featured with warm colors. I will provide a video later on explaining what are warm and cool colors and blah 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 if you don't already know that. That'll be a playlist for beginners in art. Both of these will be featured at the Revere Art Show here in Houston, Texas. It will be on February 23rd. That's a Sunday night. Today I will be showing you a time lapse and I will be featuring commentary about how I created this particular piece, which is a quick paint. When dealing with paint or with art in general, the main thing that you want to do is to lay down your background first, and then you're going to paint on top of it. With this particular piece, I used pastel chalk to create the background, and then I just simply painted on top of it. If you're just using paint all throughout your piece, then you would just use paint. Now, depending on what type of colored background it is that you do use, it may or may not give you trouble with painting on top of it. Such as if you have a darker background and you paint the whole thing dark and you're trying to do lighter colors on top of it, it may be a bit difficult and you may want to pre-sketch around your focal piece or your focal point of that art. Right now I'm laying out the midtones first, and I'm going to add the highlights and lowlights later. Those colors are going to be added on top of one another, so that can be added at a later time. Depending on the color of the background will determine whether or not you should avoid your focus area of your piece, simply because this can cause problems due to the background being a darker color or a lighter color, and it might show through or it might not show through, or your piece may not be as opaque as you would want it to be. It just depends. But that is for a different video at a later time. So for this particular piece, I did not have to avoid any focal area simply because I did my background. That's my daughter. Simply because I had my background done with a pastel chalk, so applying acrylic paint on top of it isn't really going to be that big of a deal. It's going to coat it just fine. Nothing's going to transfer. But yeah, I avoided the overlapping areas, such as, see how my hand overlaps my eye? This area right here, or in between the cracks of my fingers. I avoided those areas simply because if I painted right over it, I'm not going to be able to see it. Like, I got glasses already. I'm not supposed to strain my eyes. I ain't supposed to do none of that. So to make my life easier, I just avoided those areas, and later on when I'm adding in those shadows, I would use that to fill in those gaps and it's not gonna be that big of a deal. As you can see right now, I am putting in the shadows of my piece. I am using a purple for my shadows, simply because that is a darker hue. That I wanted that warmth to show through what I'm going to put on top of it. So just as how in your skin tone, some people have yellow undertones, some people have red undertones, some people have cool undertones. The same thing goes with your hair. I wanted that warmth to come through and to show through her hair, so that's why I laid that out. Oh, one thing that I did forget to do is that I forgot to put in her eyes. You are all, if you're painting a person, you always do the eyes first. The eyes are the soul of your painting. And let's say you could be doing a really good job, but because you didn't paint in the eyes first, you're like,
Oh no, what's going on? This isn't working out for me.
but in reality you just didn't paint in the eyes, so it just looks blah. That is one thing that you absolutely need to do, is to color your eyes first. You don't have to do a whole bunch of detail in it just yet, but to at least put in your iris and your cornea, if I'm using the right terminology, then it'll make it pop even further. And from there you're like, oh, well, maybe I can balance this out here, or maybe I can add this color here, or chisel this here and cut that there. Next, I'm going in and adding on a layer of a deep purple on top of the magenta that I did for her hair. That magenta is popping beautifully underneath that purple. That is what I wanted. I wanted to add that warmth underneath that purple because I felt like it was a little too cool of a skin tone. I mean, of a color. Yikes, just kidding. Now for my brightest bright, the main thing that's going to be my brightest color, I use a lot of white and a little bit of orange, and that's going to be the bubbles that are popping onto her skin. I really wanted it to lay in particular areas to almost look like it's oozing off of her skin. That is the main thing to focus on. That is the main thing that I had wanted to focus on as far as placement wise. And I want it to be very soft, very delicate. You didn't want it to look like you just slapped it on, because like it's a delicate piece. You know, she's washing her hair, you know, black girls, like, we don't play with our hair, okay? We spend a lot of time, okay, taking care of it, okay? Our hair is very fragile, so we love our hair. Next, I went in and added some shadows and highlights into her hair. I used a metallic purple, and I also mixed just regular purple acrylic paint with black, and I used it for the shadow. I forgot her brows and all the fine details of that, so I'm just gonna go in and do that. Next, I'm adding in some fine tuning. I'm adding in some different colors into the bubbles, into the backgrounds, because it's wash day and there's gonna be bubbles and stuff, so you know, you gotta make it all cute and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? You gotta make it pop. I'm just adding in those fine tunings into the background, into her hair. Quick tip that you're working on the face or the skin, and you need to wait for that to dry. Start working on a different area while this is drying, and by the time this is dry, then you'll be working back on this area. While this is drying, you'll be working over here, and while that's drying, you'll be working over there, etc., etc. And that way you're working quickly and you're using your time efficiently. And as artists, you need to treat yourself as if you are a brand. and you need to pay yourself mentally by the hour. So if a particular piece costs $115 and it takes you an hour to do so, then you paid yourself $100 in that 1 hour, versus you waiting for something to dry, waiting for something to get done, and it's taking you 3 hours to do that piece. That's $115. So now you spread yourself quite thin. You have paid yourself from $115 in that 1 hour to about $35 an hour. So that's how you're able to market yourself. Your time is precious. Your time is your money. So that's how you're able to get your hustle and bustle. You want to work fast, you want to work quick, and you need to start building efficient time management. And that way, whenever you do start getting in orders and people making purchases, you're able to crank those out quickly, and you're on to the next order, on to the next whatever it is that you're doing. Well, that is the end of the video. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is IR Jazzy. Be sure to click that thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that you can be notified of whenever it is that I do upload my next video. Whew, hot dog. All right. A skinny girl is hungry, so I'm just gonna fix me something. So I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one. Be sure to check this piece out. It will be featured at the Riveri Art Show that is here in Houston, Texas, February 23rd, 2020. It's from 6 to 10 p.m. It's off of Chapman and Kirby. I will provide the link somewhere in here, and I'm gonna put it inside the description box as well. So thank you so much. I'll see you guys another time. Shalom.